So, I just have some free time. I have some free time, and I just thought I'd record because how often do I have free time? I don't. No, I've had a really busy week. I am currently on annual leave. It's Thursday as I'm filming this. And I've had, obviously, I had last weekend, I've had Monday through Thursday, I've still got tomorrow off, the weekend, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week before I return to work. And it's been crazy, it's been jam packed. We've been camping, we've been shopping, we did Alton Towers yesterday, which was amazing. It was wonderful, it was such a good day. But we are tired, so tired. So it's been a very full on week. Tomorrow as well, we're actually off to Wales so that my mum and I can do the zip line, which I'm actually really excited for. But now that it's like imminent and it's here, I think I'm a little bit scared. But I'm okay. I quite enjoy these things. A few years ago I did walk up the big one, the big roller coaster. It's actually called the big one at Blackpool. So I'm a little bit of a daredevil. So I'm okay with it, but I am just tired. Like, we clocked over 23,000 steps yesterday, and my legs are hurting me today. My legs, my feet, my ankles. Jesus Christ, I feel old. Like, my age is showing through. So, yes. But no, I didn't, because I don't really have a lot of time this week. I was worried I wasn't going to be able to put out a video. And I don't really want to break my streak of not putting videos out on a Sunday, especially while I'm still new. And I know life gets in the way, and I know that, you know, YouTube isn't everything and social media isn't everything, and I understand, and that's fine. But I just thought, because I've got an hour to myself, I'll just kind of attempt to do a little something for you. So I thought I would show you a few little bits that I've picked up recently. I've got two big furniture pieces and then just a handful of little knickknacks, little decorative pieces. So I just thought I'd show you that. We're going to attempt the weekend to put the chandelier up, because as you can probably see, it's still chilling on the basket there. We haven't got around to doing that yet. But we have put a shelf on the wall. I mean, I went out and bought a shelf, but it's on the wall. So yeah, I thought maybe I would do a mini haul, show you what I've got, show you how I'm styling stuff, and then just have a little chat about projects that I'm planning, things that I'm thinking of, like short-term projects, and then eventually long-term projects as well. So yeah, it's exciting. I love a project. Love project. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is something that I have literally just picked up. It was in a charity shop. I went to meet a friend for lunch just down the road. We went for lunch and we popped into the charity shops on the way back, and I picked this up. It's just a little hangy heart. It was £1.50, but it was reduced down to 75p in acorns. So I purchased that. I'm not quite sure where it's going to go. I'm not sure whether it's going to stay this colour either. But I just thought it was really cute, and I thought for 75p I'll gamble on that. It does need a little bit of a wash. The backside's a little bit, but I can scrub that clean. So yeah, that's the first thing. Then the second thing I picked up was from Vinted. And it's this little Barnaby bear hanging ornament, and his little tag says, "I love you very much." And this guy, actually, he still has his original tag. Now, I think I paid about £2 for him, possibly £3. I thought at first, I told my husband I paid £1 for him. It wasn't this that I'd paid £1 for. The thing I paid £1 for hasn't come yet. But when I checked, it was either £2 or £3. It wasn't expensive. But these guys are so expensive. I have quite a few things dotted around the house that are from this range, like the animal range that next do. Like there's Barney Bear, there's Rosie Rabbit, Charlie Cockapoo, I think. Is it Hamish, the Highland Cow? A few things like that. I don't have something from every collection, but I do have a couple. And these things are really expensive. And I just thought, with his little tag as well, I just thought that was adorable. I'm not 100% sure where he's gonna go. He's probably gonna go in here somewhere because I have the Barney Bear curtain hooks. But I will find somewhere for him. He was just adorable. And I do love my teddy bears as well. So that was that. And as well, he was actually sent in the most gorgeous little box. Look at that. Like, it is literally just a gift box. But I'm probably going to get that out at Christmas and display that. So thank you, Vintage Seller. I will reuse that. Okay, now the next thing that I got, on Tuesday we went as a family to MacArthur Glen. There's one close to us. It's not the biggest one. Should teach me to stop messing with my hair. Yeah, it's not the biggest one. I like Cheshire Oaks and Bicester Village. I know they're not all MacArthur Glens, but I think Bicester Village is MacArthur Glen. There's a lot more at Bicester Village, but obviously it's not on our doorstep. But we did pop down, mostly because there was a Gruffalo and Gruffalo's Child meet and greet for free that you could go and do. And my kiddo, and well, as a family, we all really love the Gruffalo, but my kid's obsessed with the Gruffalo. So we originally planned to go and do that. We did a little bit of shopping, and we did spend a pretty penny, but we got so many bargains. Like, we hit the van shop and we came out with like 2 new pairs of shoes. We came out with like t-shirts, jumpers, you name it. Like, we hit gold. But we are very fortunate to have a Yankee Candle shop. I love Yankee Candle. Yankee Candle is just the best. And cheap Yankee Candle, even better. So I purchased this and I was a little bit torn because I love wax melts and I have wax melts burning throughout the year continuously. Regardless of the weather, I've always got a wax burner on the go because I just think there's nothing better than if you have like an unexpected guest. There's nothing better than them walking into your house and your house just... There is nothing in front of me. There wasn't even dust flying around. That was weird. Okay. Oh, these guys are going to have to start paying to be in these videos. Anyway, we're just going to ignore it. But yeah, I think there's nothing better than people coming into your house and your house smelling lovely. It's just a personal thing. So I was unsure whether to buy this, and I ummed and ahed because I'd seen him in the other Yankee Candle shops in our shopping centres, and I didn't, and I did. I was the same, but I decided to purchase him because he's adorable. The reason that I was so undecided was because I'm not a massive lover of the Highland cows. The animals themselves, like when they're out in the field or they're on the farm or they're wherever they're at, they are gorgeous. I love them. They are beautiful animals. But I am very much aware that the Highland cows at the moment are a home trend and they're not going to last. You know, it's one of those things, isn't it? They're really popular. We all fall in love and we buy them out, and then 3 to 4 months later, everyone's like, oh my God, why have you got Highland cow? It's like, we're on to ducks now. So I think that's kind of why I was a little bit about, but I did really like him. It's the only Highland cow thing that I have in my home. And I think it was the colours that really sold it for me. He's very muted. Like, he's a very soft, like he's a soft brown. It's a very soft brown with his details. And just look at his little face, like his little chin. And then you put the tea light in the back. And then just on the top you pop your wax melt. And he was $9.99. And we had a 10% off as well, actually. My husband got a voucher for the shopping centre. So I got 10% off him as well. So I did treat myself. And he goes lovely in the living room. So a practical, cute bargain edition thing. I don't know. Okay, so the next thing that I've got, this actually arrived this morning. Now, I've settled for the moment and I've bought this as a reproduction. I really want an authentic one, but I've only come across them once and I'd spent too much money on that day to not purchase it. So I came across one in my local antique store. I think it was about £9.95 on the day. It was very inexpensive. Or it was $19.95. It was definitely under £20. But I'd just spent too much on that day already and I didn't have a lot of funds left. And obviously by the time I did have my funds, I'd gone back. They were sold. Haven't seen any crop up local since. And I've been looking. So I've bought myself a reproduction, which I'm using for the purpose now. That's fine. When I find an authentic one, I will buy. I will switch out. But this one will have a use. So I've bought myself a reproduction brick mould. It's very nice. It's very rustic. You can tell it's not authentic. But I was desperate for one. So this is going to go on my coffee table. I don't have anything to kind of put in there at the moment. But I have more ideas for this seasonally than I do every day. So I need to kind of settle on my everyday use for this. But I do have a lot of ideas for seasonals. So autumn I'm going to have like my pumpkins, and switch it out for Halloween I might have like some candy or some like fake candy in here. Christmas I want to fill it with vintage baubles. I want to collect vintage baubles, so that's going to be a new thing that I'm going to hunt for at the boot sale. Easter, you know, you can fill it with eggs. Valentine's Day, loads of crocheted hearts, you know, things like that. So that's just my thing. And then when obviously I am fortunate enough to come across an authentic one, I will either move this, I was going to say into my kitchen. I'm not going to move it into my kitchen because I've got my little basket in there, which is beautiful. I don't need to move my basket. You guys can see this, right? I don't have any dust flying around. I don't know. Anyway, so I think I would put this either in my downstairs toilet or in my bathroom, and I would have like hand soaps and creams and stuff in there. So that was a hair. That one was a hair. I saw that one. So yeah, that's just stabbed me. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to use that for. Then the other two things I'm going to have to kind of just spin you around and take you on a little journey, because one is on the wall and one you are currently sitting on top of. So the first thing I want to show you is this gorgeous coffee table. Whoops. Oh no! that's me trying to throw everything that I've just shown you into one place just to make the room look tidy, and I'm just trashing it again. Anyway, the first thing I wanted to show you is this gorgeous coffee table. Now, I picked this table up off Facebook for £5. £5. Now, it came to me looking this distressed, and I'm going to leave it. I adore it. It's really like naturally worn down. There are a few pots here. I think the lady I purchased it off must have used it for either a craft table or like had her children sit here and have it as like a kid's craft table, because there's a little bit of pen and some paint and stuff, but I don't want to be too harsh on the cleaning of it. I just kind of want to age it naturally, kind of thing. So I do need to try and get a little bit of it off, but I'm not too precious about it. But I just love it. And I think the reason I love it so much is because I've toyed with the idea of having a coffee table in this room for such a long time, but I was worried about a multitude of things. So the first thing was space, because obviously we've got like our sofas here in the fireplace and everything, and these sofas recline as well. So I was worried that if I had a coffee table, it would have just either, we wouldn't have been able to have reclined the seats, or there just wouldn't have been enough room to manoeuvre. But this is tiny, so it's perfect. And I said to my husband, it's £5, I'm going to go and get it. And if it doesn't work or it doesn't fit, it's only £5. I could put it back on Facebook. I could maybe try and make a profit. I could have offered it to friends and family. But it actually works. It's the right colour wood, and my husband actually really likes it as well. So I've just styled it with my antique checkerboard. My Hamish, he does actually live on here. This is just a flower that my kiddo picked up at the shopping centre that we got him, and we've just left it there to dry. My brick mould. I have a candle in here currently, but that's not going to stay. That's just because I've moved it. And then just my bear and my little heart, but I've just put them in there to get out of the way. But the other reason that I like this as well is because I put so much effort into the candles. Oh my goodness, crazy people outside driving like lunatics. I put so much effort into my candles on my fireplace, and I know you can't see them from this angle, but it's just the way that I'm filming. But when you're sat on the sofa looking direct, you can't, it doesn't obstruct the candles. And eventually they are going to be built bigger as well, like over the years. But yeah, I didn't want to like block off the view. And again, because this table's so small, it's perfect. I think eventually I'd like some cushions under here, or like, I don't think I want a basket. I think I've got enough baskets. Maybe like a vintage suitcase. But I do kind of like the idea of having some cushions just to kind of soften it. And then I could swap out the cushions again seasonally. I'm not 100% sure. But at the moment I'm just enjoying the way it is. It's fine. But what I do want to show you about this table is, I'm going to bring you down here. Look at the texture. It's whittled. Oh, it's gorgeous. I just can't get over it. Like, I know that probably sounds like really pathetic, and you're probably just looking going, Courtney, why are you just stroking your table? Because it's a gem, okay? It's a little vintage girl's gem. I am so happy. I love it. So yeah. Oh, to be weird and wonderful and in love with furniture, eh? And then the next thing to show you, this is actually quite difficult for me to film, so excuse the angles. You're going to see all my greys, but we roll with it, is this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shelf, I guess. So I found this on Facebook Marketplace. I did pay £30 for it, and it is heavy. I upcycled it. When it came to me, it was kind of like a turquoisey teal, and it had been painted to look like metal. Obviously wasn't my vibe, so I decided to paint it like this collection of browns. And it's got the oopsie daisies apothecary drawers at the bottom, which will look lovely for styling. But I want this to kind of be a family story, I imagine. So the top shelf, I've got pictures of me and my husband. So there's a picture there from when we were kids, when we like first met. How he proposed to me with the petals on the bed. A picture of us at our engagement party, and then a photo of us from when we got married and our wedding figure. Then on the bottom, this is going to kind of be representing of us becoming a family. So there's a picture there, one of my pregnancy scans from 2019. So, and then this is just kind of going to be like photos of like me being pregnant. I've got a family photo of us on my kiddo's first birthday, things like that. So that's going to go on there. But yeah, I just think that looks really cute all together. Always adding, if there's a spare wall in this house, I'll fill it. So that's everything that I've got that's new, that's house related at the moment. Like I said, I try not to buy a lot of stuff. I tend to come across things unintentionally, and bear in mind as well, majority of the time, the stuff that I do buy is secondhand. It's very cheap, or I get given stuff. So if ever it looks like I've accumulated a lot, I haven't spent a lot of money on it. So, you know. But yeah, I have a few plans. To my husband's absolute migraine-inducing delight. So the first plan, I don't really have any plans for the living room. I am going to put that out there. Apart from finding something to go on the wall that's opposite me, I've currently got like a big gold ornate frame with a painting of a cathedral inside. It's okay for now. It's not going to be forever. Don't really like it. I think another shelf would be nice. I'd love to have like a full apothecary set. Those things are like 800 quid. And I'm not being negative. If I can find one, I absolutely am going to have one. That's fine. But yeah, I'm just actively kind of looking for something to go there. I'm not 100% sure what, but I feel like it'll present itself to me in the right time. So apart from that, I'm actually really happy with how the living room is at the moment. Apart from collecting a few like photo frames for my shelf, and I've got some photo frames on my big shelf as well that I'm in need of. I would like a garland of some sort to go on my fireplace, but it's nothing big. It's nothing that I'm like, oh my god, I absolutely need to go and find. So I'll just kind of find these things. But structurally and aesthetically, I feel like I'm at a point with the living room where I can kind of say, okay, I'm done. Like, it's how I want it to be. I'm happy. Maybe just tweaking a few things here and there and seasonally when it comes time to decorate. But I am actually really happy with how everything looks at the moment. So living room's pretty much done, which is wonderful. A hallway, I have decided I'm going to put some wallpaper up. So I have a gallery wall when you first walk through into my front door. So I'm deciding to wallpaper all the way around up until the gallery wall and then stop. Maybe do the inside of the doorway on the front door. Leave the rest blank. Leave the wall that goes all the way up the stairs blank, because that is tall. And my short backside's not getting up there. I'm not taking a ladder up there, and I'm not paying someone to do it, because the more I pay someone else to do something, the less money I have to spend on stuff. So logic, not doing it. So I'm going to just leave that blank, and then I'm going to start the wallpaper again, I think, on the landing, just to kind of tie them in. So that's something I'm going to do a little bit later on in a couple of months, I think. We also need a wardrobe. I'm on the hunt for a second-hand wardrobe in a specific size to fit at the bottom of the stairs next to the front door to store coats, shoes, hats, bags, school bags, things like that. I am struggling to find one that is what I want and that the person will deliver, because van hire is so pricey. And I get that it's the fuel, but I'd rather pay the person I'm buying the wardrobe off instead of having to get like a third party person. I don't know whether that makes sense to anyone else or whether I'm just a little bit delusional and making my own life harder, but I'd rather have like the full package, like, yes, I'll get this from you and you can deliver it. Wonderful. I'll pay you. Here you go. But that's proving very difficult. So if I can't, I have found a new one on Argos that looks old and I could very easily distress. So it's a lot more money than I want to pay, but I have it as a backup and I'm happy to commit to that if I need to. So that's an option. That's a plan, for the hallway. I also am planning on taking the carpet up on the stairs. So when we moved in, obviously I live in a new build. This December will be our 3rd year in this house. We have lino all the way through, like a vinyl floor all the way through the bottom, and it's a wood effect and it's beautiful. Now before any of you come at me for wood effects, like just have the actual wood. I had parquet flooring in my old house and it was stunning, but it was so much upkeep. And for me to have that throughout the whole of downstairs, absolutely not. Lino is soft, it's warm, it cleans really well as well. So just, that was what I decided to do. But we had carpet on the stairs, landing, and in all of the bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, and we went for a cream. Now this cream carpet, stunning, perfect, has held up really well. It's held up in the bedrooms, it's held up on the hallway, on the landing upstairs, sorry. The only place it hasn't held up is the stairs, and specifically the bottom 2 steps. And I think really it's just where my kiddo sits to put her shoes on. I genuinely think that's all it is. But the corner, so like you've got kind of like the post and then the bottom step kind of goes around it, there is awful. And I don't want to fork out for new carpet because I don't want different coloured carpet. And if I did the stairs, I'd have to do everything and I don't want to. So I pulled some of the carpet up the other day, checked, and the stairs are pristine. Obviously, it's a new build, so they're going to be. So when we've got some free time, we're going to pull the carpet up off the stairs and just kind of vintage it up a little bit, I think. Pull the paint right the way down into the corners. I think the stairs are all white currently. Don't know whether I'm going to leave that. I don't know whether I'm going to try and strip it back. I was hoping they would be a natural wood because I really like the idea of having like the natural wood in the middle and then pulling the pink down onto the sides. But we'll have a look when the time comes and we can pull it all up and have a look. But that's another project for what I want to do. Then I think the next thing that I'm going to do after that is tackle our downstairs toilet. So our downstairs toilet I already decorated. It was very eclectic, very eccentric, and I had a vision in my head and I just couldn't make it marry up with the vision in my brain. So the idea was to make it look like an astrologer's office. So I had all of these like window mirrors, these ones actually. I had these ones, oh, there we go, all along the wall to make it look like an office window room thing. And then on the ceiling, I painted the ceiling black and I put thousands of little gold stars, And then on the opposite wall, I collected stars in all different shapes, sizes, materials, painted them all different shades of gold and attached them to the wall to kind of make it look like an astrologer's thing. I have a shelf on there with like eclectic different things, like I've got a Victorian portrait, I've got a telescope, like a star chart, things like that. I've got that in there, and the vision was there, but it just didn't really. I just was never really happy with how it came about. And I've been quite open and honest on this channel that I will try anything. You know, it's only paint. It's only paint, and try it. You know, be your crazy wild self. Try these things. If you have a crazy idea, try it. It might end up amazing. Sometimes it doesn't, but everything's correctable. It's fine. So I'm not really happy with my downstairs toilet at the moment, because obviously I've taken down the mirrors and I've started to take things down because I wasn't happy with them, and relocated and repurposed some of the stuff. But I also want to change the sink in there, because the room is obnoxiously large for such a small purpose room. It could have been a really good utility space, and for some reason the builders wanted a toilet in there. But it's really long, like it's really long. We've got a radiator by the door, we've got a sink, and then we've got the toilet. But the sink they gave us was kind of one of these, like, I really don't mess with you, like, the sink's probably about that wide. It's got one of those like water fall tap things, and then it's connected to a cupboard. And it just makes a mess. Like, the bowl, the tray thing, whatever you want to call it, is not physically big enough for you to wash your hands in without getting the water everywhere. What's the point? You know what I mean? So I've decided I want to rip that out, but obviously we're going to need new flooring in there, because the cupboard's built, like they fit the flooring around the cupboard. So I want to pull that out. I'm happy to pull up the lino and have a new lino laid down, and I don't mind it being different to the rest of the downstairs because it's a different room. So I might go for a dark wood effect in there. But I really want to. I saw this in my Country Living magazine. It is gorgeous. So this one lady got a Victorian washstand, replaced the top of it with marble, and then had the sink inserted. So she's got the sink in this bowl with this marble, and then she's got room to put like her soap and her creams and like a little Christmas tree. Christmas, everything revolves around Christmas. But like, you can put like your flannels, or like a photo frame, or I don't know what people would put in their downstairs toilets. We're all different, but I just thought that was a beautiful idea. It was so stunning, and that's something that I really want to do. But obviously that's going to be a little bit more costly. I guess obviously that's going to be a big project. It's going to be a lot of money, so that's going to kind of sit on the back seat for now. And then obviously we have upstairs projects, like the bedroom desperately needs to be done, but again, I feel like as desperate as I am to get upstairs things done, you kind of need to finish what you've already started downstairs. So yeah, I also have a few plans for our front garden as well. So at the moment our front garden's just kind of like slabs and slate. I'd really like to get like a picket fence out there and grow lots of white plants and white flowers, because our front door and all of our PVC is like a very dark grey, almost black. So I think to have like lots of white plants would really pop, and I just think it'd look really lovely. So yeah, I think those are like my main things. Obviously there are projects for upstairs. The room just kind of looks like a junkyard at the moment. We've got stuff everywhere, but yeah, I'm really kind of trying to just slow down. I think it's very easy to force yourself into having all of these wonderful ideas and projects, and then just really overwhelming yourself because making yourself feel like you've got to do everything all at once, and it's just not the case. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this little video. I know it's been a bit, but I suppose any video is better than no video. So, and like I said, I've had a bit of a chaotic, busy week, so I'm gonna have a little bit of a plan to do some other stuff. I have done some crafting as well from the last video. I have used my clay and I have painted some of my pumpkins, but they're not finished. So maybe that'll be the next video. But yeah, thank you for spending about an hour with me. It's been really nice to just talk and share the things that I've purchased and my home. Thank you for being here. I'll catch up with you soon.